base themselves on being good to people, except for a couple of them. Some of the ways some of them treat their women is a little true. I don't like some of them.
Well, see, that's the
I
thing.
mean, we want to keep our women covered because they're sacred, but I mean, American, they're basically naked. In another country, they're hidden in black. I think there should be a leeway on that one.
What if I told you that the reason why women are told to wear hijab, cover up and everything,
Mm-hmm.
yes, it is a modesty thing, but it's also a security thing. When they were first getting
Hey, I tell
together,
you what, you can make one hell of an bulletproof vest if you're covered, man. Hey, come in handy. No,
no,
I mean, I love the modesty. I really do.
well, what was going on was we're talking back in the days where the bathroom and all of that was not attached to the house. It's separate. So when ladies went out to do whatever they were doing, whether they had girlfriends with them or not, there would be men who would be basically peeping toms. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, so it's easy to see that if there's a woman
If she's
checking on her friend versus a man.
Yeah, and so when they were
That's actually kind of smart.
when they were covered, that also meant that they were part of a community where if somebody came and molested them any kind of way, then the community was coming to get them. You see what I'm saying? So if a man did accost a woman or something like that, this also goes back to when Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, Allahu sallallahu wasalam, when he first was getting people together and telling them the passages of the surah in the Quran. Those were messages. That was like a sermon, basically. Each time he would get together and he'd say, okay, well, here's the next message, right? When he would get the people together, they would be separate, men from women. But the thing was, you still had some men who were still ogling the women. You know, they didn't understand that it was disrespectful to be that way. So there was a time when they would hold up a curtain between the men and the women, and then it just got to the point where they said, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. We'll have the women covered. Men, you all stop looking at the women lasciviously, right? For real.
If
Yeah.
there ain't no nipples and no fucking shapely crack, you can't look at them. I get it, bro. I get it.
There you go.
I like it too.
There
I
you
really
go.
do.
That's what that was for. It wasn't to,
I went to a Christian recovery ministry, so that's all I heard was the Bible.
mm,
I think churches should not be so denominational and teach all of it.
you're
I mean,
supposed to.
that way you can kind of pick what fits your soul.
That's what it says in the Bible. You're not supposed to break down into denominations or sects.
It should not be a one-way street. Everybody
There's
should be
there is a
adjusting
one way
to
though.
what they're comfortable.
There is a one-way street. All right. Now hold on a second. I gotta greet the people. I've already started up. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon everyone who catches this message. I see that we do have at least one in YouTube land right now, having a lively discussion with a new comrade. Hula Tana, I see you. Thanks for the greeting. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak. You want to know if I'm Christian? By definition, I will have to tell you no. I walk with the order of Malachi Zadok. Now, by definition, the word Christian means Christ-like. If you walked up on Yehoshua HaMashiach and asked him if he was a Christian, he would look at you like he didn't understand what you're talking about. That's not his language. Oh, it's okay. You're free to ask any questions. I don't mind that at all. We actually do get together 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday through Friday, and we talk about ethics in entrepreneurship. So I thank you for being here. Teda, shukran, grazie, gracias, asante, spasibo. You say that's cool? That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm gonna play a little bit of music before we get started and pick up on this conversation that I'm having. Like I said, I have a new comrade that I've met today. His name is Chris. And from what he told me, I believe he's done some studies in Christianity. We're actually going to be studying from the Essenes and the Dead Sea Scrolls. We were doing some research on Brother Arius. He comes from the times of the Council of Nicaea. He had a writing where he was explaining his theology. And so I want to go back and go into that document. We've been reading from Encyclopedia Britannica. So it'll give you the different sections, tell you about the people and what they did, and then we can go back and do some more exploration. But as I was saying, we do get together Sunday through Friday. Normally we do have 10 different special interest groups that we talk about. Each would have their own day. And then we reserve Sunday for question and answer. Usually I'm not on Saturdays because I do reserve that for Shabbat. There are a lot of people who do give a message then. So I sit back and take notes. To be honest with you, I take notes every day. I'm always tuning in to see what other people are talking about. And sometimes I like to use that as part of the broadcast. And that's kind of what's going on right now. We started out talking about Asher because that's my actual mission. My mission is to come before the people daily and remind you of Asher. There's the Asher who is known as one of the brothers in the family of Yahasharael, known as the house of Israel, Asher. So we went and we found all 12 brothers. I didn't want to know what their name meant. See, we've already done this. People will go and say, well, yeah, Asher means I'm happy. His mother named him Asher because she was happy. Now, the thing is that how he supported his household? Is that the product that was given to say, okay, this is part of Israel's gross national product? I'm happy? No. He actually had a trade and skill, which he taught to his children and passed on to his grandchildren. That's what we wanted to know about. What are the responsibilities? As a matter of fact, out of the 12 brothers who actually held up their responsibilities. Because then we find out throughout history, all of a sudden, there's only 3 of the brothers, 3 of the households that stuck around. Everybody else left. That 3 turned into 2. And then as we were reading, we also find out that all of the brothers were told, you should lean on Judah. I say Yahavadah. Lean on Levi. I would say Lava. Because the one who set everybody in order was Joseph, Yasav. So after we read through the summaries of the different brothers, we also went back and we found the 12 testaments of the 12 patriarchs, meaning we saw what they said to their sons and their grandchildren right before they passed away. Each of them had a different outlook on life. Most of them were dualities. The duality of Taba and evil. What is lawful, what is holy versus what is evil. The duality of, well, there's a few of them. I'm not going to just try to name them off my head. You got some off-base questions going on there, Hulatana. I don't have a crush on any celebrities at all. We're not supposed to celebrate any person, any individual. I'm not a fan or a fanatic like that either. Atomics 4731, I see you. Hashem Yahav Alahim Shalamat Barak Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Lauren Hall, I see you too. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Dawson PB 523, I see you. Hashem Yahav Alahim Shalamat Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Give me a moment. We're going to play a little bit of music. Then I'm going to pray us in. And then we'll start our studies. I want to thank everyone for being here.
Bluetooth device is ready to pair. The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
Hulatana, I don't really listen to pop music. I don't listen to popular music. I am actually a producer. I compose instrumentals, I write lyrics, I record music. Right now, there are actually 7 albums under my belt. You can find my first album out on most platforms. It's called End of the Brick Paved Road. My performer name, my artist name, 3PROJH, 3P Roge. 3P, plan, produce, peace. ROJH, wind, spirit, soul. I don't know, Hulutana. What's your definition of famous? Am I well known? I don't know. What do you mean by well known? Oh, there's a person in the comment section. They wanted to know if I was famous. So I said, well, what do you mean by famous? And they said, well, are you well known? So I'm
You're well
asking.
known by me right now.
Chris says I'm well known,
Yeah.
and I'm in great company. So by definition, I guess I am.
What's the definition of well known? You gotta know somebody for more than 5 minutes to be well known? Or is it 50 years?
There you go. The question back to you is, do you have to know the person for over 5 minutes or at least 50 years? What does it mean to be well known?
I think 5 days to 5 weeks. I'd probably know you better, but
You ever heard of the elevator speech? You know how you walk up to somebody and then they ask you, what's your story? Let's say you walk into a building and you hop on an elevator and another person does. Going up the floors, the elevator stops. Are you gonna stand there and just stare at the door? Or are you gonna actually talk to the person?
usually I try to find something stupid to say. Like, you push number 3. Sure you didn't mean 4?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
no, or I'll try to go, I don't know, I guess it's how I feel about the person. Maybe I'll try to go the other way and be like, well, you smell nice. I, I hope you're not offended by my smell.
You
You
got
know,
jokes. You got
humor.
jokes.
Humor's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah. I guess it just depends. The moment really decides what I say. You try to read people the best you can and see what they're. You know, some people you don't even want to be talked to.
This is true. Very true. Very true.
That's why I approached and said, "Hey, am I gonna bother you if I come sit down?"
Yeah, and that was very respectful.
I was doing my best to hope that you were gonna be honest about that. You could have said, "No, get away."
Yeah, but that's. I try not to be that sort of person if I can help it. Let's
You
see
didn't
here.
know who I was gonna be though,
Yeah,
so you had a lot of faith in humanity.
and it's something that I've lost from time to time, but every now and then it does get restored.
Sure does.
Eminem dude, Andrew plays. Hashem Yahavalahim Shalom Barak. I see there's about 8 people in YouTube land now. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. I'm gonna play a song for you all real quick. Then we're gonna get prayed in. Because yes, we do have an agenda today. Meet my new comrade. That's Chris.
I appreciate the invite.
Oh, for sure. We have parties. What you know about Sherwood Forest? We have parties in Sherwood Forest. And you walked up on one.
What would they hang around me? The haters, the bears, the naysayers. What would they hang around me? I got blueprints, carpenters, and bricklayers.
I see you, Kati Mavis. Lil Hamster GD, I see you. Night Wolf, I see you.
Why would they hang around me? I got blueprints, carpenters, and bricklayers. Make a plan and hear the voices say how many ways you'll crumble before the shovel hits pay dirt and you about to land. Identify each one like sand before the hour passes. A little U-turn to drain the air, see through like glasses. Associated with negativity to work on longevity by accentuating the positive in hostile environments. They survive on the strife of others' laments. What's a sacrament? The downpours and downfalls can't save you from pitfalls and paved walls that cause you to face plant and get up grinning. Direction of dollar of ideas stretching like baseball innings. And national debt spending with no bailout in sight, except for IOUs of I told you so spending. What would they hang around me? The haters, debaters, and naysayers. What would they hang around me? I got blueprints, carpenters, and bricklayers. What would they? What would they hang around me? Infringing on the copyright takes some time and effort. I'm a private, moving on my left foot. My company and class have rights restricted. Reserving my reservoir, they pick at my fences. Like shepherds and ranchers in dust bowls. I keep my plate full. With the keys to the light and the line that's gold. My pie got charted and gobbled up. Wedged like forks when they're bottled up. Took a trip to France and bottled the model up. Caught up in a motocross race. Twisted my arm and throttle up. Take a big gulp from my small cup that's brimming over with good sense into a saucer, inbounds like hopscotch. Level playing field seems too lofty and offer. I think it would go oriented if it was like soccer. Outsiders examining gambles to display the claim, being proctors and manners. Why would they hang around me? The haters, debaters, and the naysayers. Why would they hang around me? I got blueprints, cartridges, and bricklayers. Why would they? Why would they hang around? There's an onslaught of devilish dimensionals creeping up on humane individuals. Once the sparks of life and life begin to shine, they scrape the pinch to gain your mind. Another brain sleeping is another soul leaking, while ego and greed keep feeding. Pass a book to seek a wag your tongue for cake box teach. Plug you up, coated with flour and eggs, a little sugar for the sweetener. 500 years ago it was feeding poor cake and now everybody has diabetes. A few heads of roll, yet still skin and tongues remain swole. Close to Christmas present, watching your secret win a cotton candy bowl. Go hard, run rebels, or fighting Irish. Look at mankind's pastimes, the present soul of living desires. Know what they hang around me. The haters, the beggars, the naysayers. Why would they hang around me? I got blueprints, cartridges, and bricklayers. Why would they hang around me? Why would they? DJ microwave 5,000 watts, one of those pockets. Take anything you got.
I'm gonna try to make it back down here in time for my sister, but if I don't see you again,
Salute, brother.
I got you on my phone, so.
Awesome. Likewise, brother. Be safe.
It's been over 400 years and the plot thickens. We're in the 21st century, new millennium. Still bringing life, nation, kids, war for fights. Came in, I didn't win on that, I ain't go north. I chose to roll with my feet instead of west, and of course, I took it to Mexico and what is called Texas. At the Federation, and slave owners mad cause I ain't back. In the work once I hit the borderline. No freedom papers needed, oil rigs, labor unions, and marches on. It's been over 400 years, and the plot thickens. We're in the 21st century, new millennium. Still bringing life to Mace and Dixon. 54-40 fight. Can't make a buck with me. The horizontal willingness, out of luck, illegal kidnapping, and freedom. Nothing in the street is stuck. Go to war and ostracize, doing your wrong, taking land and lives while singing corrupted fight songs. Your greenbacks ain't jack, and I don't want your gold. As the journey, past the revelations for my soul. It's been over 400 years, and the plot thickens. We're in the 21st century, new millennium, still bringing life to Mace and Dixon. 54-40 fight. I'm not in the mood to party. Right now my family ain't happy. Keep your paper, metals, and gems. Trusting in what you rely on won't trap me. Found the youth wasn't found in the Florida Keys. In the search for the city of gold, almost left Aborigines and bison completely deceased. If depression is a disease, it really ain't helping. You charge a lifetime for possession, so I guess I'll never be selling for 400 years in the plot thickens. We're in the 21st century, new millennium. It's been over 400 years in the plot thickens. We're in the 21st century, new millennium. Still bringing life to Mace and Dixon. 54-40 fight. Let's bring it up today. Currency identifies the breadwinner. Pay taxes on wages, property, and what you could call dinner. The one considered a threat goes to the penitentiary, plantation, even after the Civil War. This is a divided nation. Probably own prisons, ghettos, and reservations. Bombard us with destitution, gangsterism, and hallucinations. I'm not into politics, but I'm at your house party. It's been over 10 years. My DJ microwave fatherland we all aspire to be like the soldier. That's always been the soldiers of the child and the fatherland. Just stay on only 400 years. Mafia and the black niggas. That's always one of the soldiers.
All right, it's time to get this party started. The music you've been hearing comes from an album called Crystallized Mind. You can pick it up on PayHip at my store. Remind me to put that information in the details. Let's go ahead and pray and get this started. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Ameen. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. We seek the protection of our Father against shaitan and the evil ways while we travel the divine path. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanirrahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas sirata al-mustaqim. Sirata allatheena an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim. Walad Dolin. Ameen. In the name of our Father, the most merciful, the most compassionate, Lord over all worlds, creator of our divine path, the most merciful, the most compassionate. We ask you to forgive us when we disobey like others have done before us. We ask you to teach us to forgive others the way that you forgive us. And we thank you for giving us the divine path. Ameen. It is said that when we pass away, each of us individually will go and see our Creator, our Maker, our Father. I call him Yahweh Elohim. Sometimes you will hear me speaking in Farsi tongue, Persian, and other times you will hear me speaking in Paleo-Hebrew. Harley T. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak. Akati Mavis, Night Wolf, Little Hamster GD, Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. And now I will answer your question, Night Wolf. What makes you think I was ever in Florida? Why were you asking me something like that? Thank you for the compliment, Harley T. We get together 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday through Friday, to talk about ethics in entrepreneurship. What are ethics? Ethics are standards. The standards that I observe come from Yahweh Elohim. I'm guided through wisdom from the source of Ravak HaKadosh, also known as Holy Spirit. I have been shown in guidance and example through the life of Yahashivai HaMashiach, Yahashivai, our Messiah. For the question earlier, no, I'm not a Christian. I walk with the order of Malachi Zadok. If you walked up on our Messiah and asked, "Are you Christ?" he would still look at you with a blank expression. Now here's the thing. Our Messiah was a well-traveled man. He had been in commerce. He had also worked in construction. The area where he lived had many different travelers from many different lands. So there were many different languages spoken. There were a few main languages that everybody knew, some way, some form, somehow. And then he had his own mother tongue that he spoke, which would have been what we call Avra, Paleo-Hebrew, or Proto-Canaan, the language of Adam. Those who speak that language have standards, and there's a certain culture around it. People have added on and taken away certain traditions. However, that part is not what are the standards. Those are traditions. I initially wanted to study Asher because there's more to it than just one of the brothers was named Asher. There's also the day of Asher, also known as the day of Ashura. This is the day after Passover. Who remembers what happened the day after Passover? I don't do lives to talk about trending topics or what's popular, because none of that has anything to do with the standards of Yahweh Elohim. And we've been given a mission. Our mission is that we're supposed to be making sure that everyone on the globe knows what the kingdom of Yahweh Elohim looks like, smells like, feels like, because the citizens of the kingdom of Yahweh Elohim are already supposed to be here, preparing the place for the return of our Messiah. That means we're not supposed to be standing around waiting for the sky to crack open. We're not supposed to be waiting for somebody to come save us. We're supposed to be preparing the place so that he can walk in with ease. People have been messing up the story, taking things out and adding things in. So that's the reason why I felt led to go and find out what was going on with Brother Arias, because everything that I've been relaying with you now are all things that I've studied in the past. And lately I keep hearing people say things that are not correct. So I had to go back and find the resources for what I remember, from what I studied, from what I wrote down in notebooks years ago, and lived my life according to. I adhered to it. I didn't just go around quoting stuff. No, I lived it. My hair is a vow. There's a Nazarite vow. I wanted to be like Samson when I was little. Florshel Rakaza. Hashem Yahweh Elohim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum. Wa Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. The Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. Your question is, hey, are you Hebrew? I study the Avra culture. I walk in the order of Malachi Zadok. Came in right on time, as a matter of fact. Floor cell. We're about to go into some studies concerning a certain article that Brother Arias wrote. See, there was a question concerning whether or not we should pay any attention to Dead Sea Scrolls. Well, Dead Sea Scrolls led up to discovery of this community called the Union, also known as the Essenes. Well, these Essenes were hiding scrolls in certain caves to protect them. So there was a time during the Roman occupation when they were just coming through and destroying things. This all occurred around the time of the Council of Nicaea. And the Council of Nicaea is when they were determining what they were going to do to structure theology as the world knows it. So my concern is not what's going on with the activities of any president or king in the last 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, 1,000 years. 6,000 years, 15, 20,000 years, 40,000 years. I don't care about any kings. Any man that walked this earth and called himself ruler over everybody else. There was a man that walked this earth that everyone said was the king of the world. And he said, y'all still don't got it right because you're trying to worship me instead of the Most High, the one that made me. And I'm not talking about Yehoshua in that instance. And yes, he did tell the people the same thing. I'm showing you how to live and you still want to worship me. Worship the way, because the way comes from our Father. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. Nag Hamadi. Namaste. See the divine in you. We should all make it our duty to see the divine in a person before we see malice. We should see what's halal. We should see what's holy. We should see what's lawful. We should see what's tabah before we look at what's haram or what's ma'al, what's bad. Look for that divine light, because that's that little reassurance that the kingdom of Yahweh Elohim exists. Some people may pronounce the name differently. However, we are all saying the same thing. We say the same story, even though the dialect is different. And the thing is, you can tell. Some people come along and they just want to tell you some words. And this is how we did it all this time. And then like, I just went and discovered this too. We need to put this in there. We got to have all that because we're going to do it all. We're not supposed to do it all. So there was a lot of arguments going on in the year 135 BCE. That's 135 years before Hamashiach even walked on the planet. And that was the Messiah compared to anybody who was basically being a priest and a prophet in the name, in the Shem of Yahweh Elohim. And they came to the people representing our Father, the great Rabbi. Then they were basically anointed as well because they were being a vessel. They were being a willing vessel for our Father. They were anointed. So if you went to Yehoshua and asked him, are you the Christ? During that time, Christ meant grimy. So if you walked up on him and asked him, are you grimy? He would look at you and say, my cousin just baptized me last week, and I do know how to bathe. So don't come to me speaking to me in the language of dogs. Now, if you walked up on Yehoshua and you asked him, are you the Messiah? Are you Hamashiach? Then he'd start telling you some parables about the Son of Man. Yesterday, while we were in our studies, we were told that this mention of Son of Man is only said in the New Testament. Well, number one, we know that there's only one Testament. There's no Old Testament or a New Testament. There's only one. The same agreement that was made with Adam, the same agreement that was made before Adam was even made. Barashayat. The first word, the first scroll, Barashayat, tells you everything, tells you the whole story. And then we get to go through several books, thousands of years. And then we found out about the millennials. That's not just some generation that they want to talk about now. The millennials and the Gen X and Gen Y and blah, 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 blah. Or the millenniums that have passed. And we're in the second millennium, a quarter of the way through. No. they were saying that there's going to be this time where there's 1,000 years of peace. We're going to be ruled by Yehoshua. So right now, everybody's waiting for the sky to crack so that can happen. Because everybody's in a panic. Everybody's looking for the apocalypse. Because they think that something was revealed saying it's the end of times. But no. It is a message saying those who are of the house of Yahashariah, those who are of the family of Israel, you have a reason to rejoice. You have a reason to party. When you see these things happening and you know what house you belong to, rejoice, revel, hezan, Yahashariah. Trucker, I see you. Hashem Yahavalahim Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon you, your family, and your circle. Florcel Rakaza says, you speak the truth, brother. We need more people like you. Gone. That's why I'm here. I'm here to say yes. Come, Yahashariah. Come up out of it. Come up out of Babylon and start speaking. No, I don't need to be the only one out here doing it. And yes, there are more. Ahmad Trucker, he's one. I suggest, please go and check out his channel. Let's see, we're going up to the top of the hour, and he's due to start his live around that time in about 20 minutes. Oh, everything's gravy, brother. Sometimes people do come in, and when they leave their receipts, they leave their receipts. Florcel Rakaza asked, what do you think about the 12 tribes of Yahashariah? We just got through doing a study about the 12 patriarchs. That would be the 12 brothers. We did an intense study in summary of the things that it mentions in the Bible concerning each of them, their actions, their activities, concerning what happened between them and Joseph, their brother, and also what they were known for doing in their own lives. Then after that, we went and found out, okay, well, this is what their name means in Avra characters. In Proto-Canaan language is what the name means. Now let's go back and find out what their responsibilities were. Now, Yahashariah, as a house, that existed over 4,000 years ago. So I can't say, oh, check out my phenotype. Check out, see, I got a hook in the back of my head. You can't see it right now, though. But check out my phenotype. That makes me Yahashariah. Look, see, I can do the Nazarite vow. That makes me Yahashariah. No. You have to follow the standards to the letter of the law, to the character of the standard, to the character of the story. You were on earlier today. My whole schedule's about to be thrown off. I'm here to tell you something. Every day is Shabbat to me. Trucker and I have spoken on this. If it came down to it, and I wanted to really just tell you all what my calendar is like, what my beliefs are, and what my standards are, how I live, and the way that I conduct myself, that means that you would spend 28 days focusing on one attribute of our Father. And what we do is we put a fest at the beginning of it, Eid, E-I-D, a feast. And then we do another one at the end of it. And we just do that. There's about 99 attributes. So it's going to take a while to get through all of them. And our focus every day is that. And what are our activities during that time? Well, when we're not worshiping, when we're not studying, and we are actually praying, that means that we thought about it, we said it, now we're going about doing it. So what are we going to do? We're doing work. Well, what's work? What's your natural born talent? What's the thing that you can do where you can do it with ease? And I'm not talking about shooting a basketball. I'm not talking about throwing a ball. I'm not talking about running fast, dancing, or singing. What talent, skill, or trade do you have? Things that you were born with, and then you went out and you sharpened those skills. What about the things that you discovered that were weak within you, and you still went out and found a way to make it stronger? Can you write a resume explaining who you are? I'm not talking about go and fill in a blank job application. No, I'm talking about, can you write up a resume in order to describe your work? Going to go on in about 15 anyway? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hold it down and put that message out there. Yes, sir. I'm going to go in real quick so I can go ahead and get this information out there. We're about to go back and review something that Arius wrote concerning the viewpoints, because everybody was arguing over whether or not Hamashiach was son of man or if he was son of God. And the whole idea was, while he was falsely accused of being son of God, falsely accused of saying that he was, he told the people, and he told the Pharisees, ask them over there, ask them, who do you say I am? The Son of Man. Who do I say I am? Son of Man. So what are you accusing me of? Oh, we're still going to say that you call yourself a son of a deity. They insisted. And that was the Pharisees. And you got the Pharisees and the Sadducees who said, yeah, we got these traditions, and you breaking up our traditions. You remind us of this guy that went and broke up all the statues and then left a large mallet next to the largest statue and said, go ask that statue how they got broke. You remind us of him. We got to get rid of you. You're messing it up for us. You was in here a couple of months ago kicking over tables and things. Selah. So the Essenes were bringing that question back to the table. Why was it so important that y'all wanted to go and change up some things? If we're going to have this 3 that y'all want to talk about, why you want to put that in one person? There was one creator. There's one Holy Spirit that did walk in the cool of the day with Adam. Well, where was Yahshua all that time if we're going to have the 3? Well, all spirits were created a long time ago, all of them. And then we wait our chance to be put in a physical body. Then that soul is granted so that there can be a personality that matches that spirit that was already there. That spirit is the part that comes with the talent. The soul becomes the one that's attached. The personality that's attached with that energy to live a life physically. Yahshua was there the whole time. We were all there the whole time. He had to wait his turn to be put in a physical body. So we have the Creator, and then we got the Holy Spirit. And if you look at that term, that phrase, Badar Shayat, that's exactly what it's saying. Coming out of the right house, the Son will be led by the Holy Spirit to be torn asunder and to complete. It's in the story. The first words. When everybody else is talking about in the beginning. So Arius asked the question, why are you trying to put 3 into 1? What are you doing? Why are you adding things? Why are you taking away from what it actually already says? Why aren't you teaching what it's supposed to say? Why aren't you acknowledging the book of Ezekiel? Why aren't you acknowledging First Kings? Why aren't you acknowledging First Chronicles? Because it's telling the people there, their first mistake was trying to get a king over us. We're supposed to walk by the standards, and then we don't have to have a king over us. We're supposed to be a nation of nobles. We're kings because all of us are noble and pious by nature. You don't need someone to rule over you then. And what does a king do? A king will be asking you to pay tribute. Now I got to give a percentage to this physical being. Meanwhile, I was supposed to be giving my tribute to my natural known creator. There's a discrepancy there. That's why you can't serve two masters. You can't be worried about what Caesar is doing, because Caesar did not create this world. Caesar's imaginary lines in the dirt do not determine what goes on this earth. Caesar's imaginary lines in the dirt get wiped away every time you try to put them down with a storm, wind, water, earthquake, fire. Because every time you want to put down something and it ain't in the name of Yahweh Elohim, if it's not pleasing to Yahweh Elohim, it will be destroyed. Subhanahu wa ta'ala, all praises to our source of sustenance and mercy. Encyclopedia Britannica, here we come. In order to do research, you go and find a reference that agrees with what you're talking about. Then you go find one that disagrees. And then you might even find one that says both sides of it are off. That's doing research. Now, when you come back with some one-sided results, it means that you haven't properly researched. You should be able to compare and contrast. It's one thing if you want to list your favorite 3, 4, 5 things. However, look at what is your most least favorite and why. And what's the one thing that you, as they say, you'll die on that hill? We start our research in Encyclopedia Britannica because it's going to give the established view. Now, we can later go back and look at different articles, academic research journal articles that actually have citations and references concerning each of the things that we're learning about. Encyclopedia Britannica is just going to do a straight breakdown. Here's the facts: who, what, when, where, why, and how. Then you take the facts and you go back and you can individually research them. So we're going to encyclopediabritannica.com, typed in ARIUS. Your result will give you Christian priest or Harirud River, Central Asia. We don't want the river. We want Christian priest. It's trying to ask me to subscribe right now. I do not want to subscribe right now. We were just here a couple of days ago. He has this, I can't remember the name of what the, I know another way we can find out though. because that's all I want. I want to find the article that he wrote. There was that. Oh, and then there's Uranji. It's close to one of my names, 3P Roche. My handle on here is AngelicDiscipline. I'm also known as Maliki or Malachi. It wants me to do a free trial. Subscribe to continue reading. Normally, I don't do that. Nice to meet you too. I apologize for the pause. I was not expecting to be hit up with a subscription request. $8.99 a month or a free 7-day trial. How about no, no, and no? I'm always trying to sell you something. See, I come from this place where they have this statute called FOI, Freedom of Information. You're not supposed to charge people for information. Now, if it's something that is supposed to be held within privacy and things like that, well, yeah, pay to get into the club or whatever, but some things are not meant to be charged for. Now, I could go to the library and open up a handy-dandy encyclopedia. However, this is a website and it should just be available. I understand that people don't buy encyclopedias like they used to. The price they were trying to charge per month, I don't know. According to inflation, I don't know how much an encyclopedia would cost nowadays, but I do remember it did cost some installments. I do remember that. So, since Encyclopedia Britannicus wants me to, start a subscription, we're going to do it the other way. Because basically there was some of the scrolls that were found with the Dead Sea Scrolls had to do with some of the things that he was writing about. So I'm trying to find, let's see here, one of them was, the articles that were stored with the Essenes. One of them was something about war, and then the other one was, see, that's the problem. I don't want to misrepresent it. What's my schedule? What do you mean by schedule? I'm an insomniac. My schedule is, once I do wake up, once my eyes open up, I go to work. I'm at work until my eyes go to sleep. Thing is, it's hard for me to go to sleep. So I'm at work until I go to sleep. We do these live broadcasts, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday through Friday. If you go to my channel, then you will see that I post short videos, long videos, pictures and posts, and all that kind of stuff throughout the day, because that's my work. Even though right now we're talking about theological things, yes, I am prepared to talk about finances and all of that. I'm prepared to talk about graphic illustrations, proper registration for copyrights, as well as getting your audio files registered. It's not about just being a musician. It's not about just worrying about whether or not Spotify is paying people. Spotify is one company. It's not about trying to register with some company that wants to charge you every time you upload something, or charge you per month, or charge you per year for distribution. When you go to your search engine, type in, how can I, and then right there, that blank, whatever it is that you want to do, how can I blank for free. Find out the ways you can do that. Because DistroKid and CD Baby and everybody else are going to charge you, but they're also going to limit you. I'm here to tell you there's 250 different streaming platforms that you can be recognized on, along with digital stores for your merchandise and things like that. And I have access to it for free. Those are the things that I would talk about. But mainly, if I could get away from finances, I really would focus on 28 days talking about one attribute of our Creator. Have a feast at the beginning of that, a feast at the end of that. So that's 30 days. And then start over. Do it again. Another attribute. It would take about 7 or 8 years, a little over 8 years, to go through all of it. And just imagine if that's what we were doing instead of running a rat race. Okay, this last little paragraph right here. The controversy intensified around 319 through 323 CE, leading to the convening of the First Council of Nicaea in 325 CE, where Arius was declared a heretic, and the council affirmed that the Son is homoousion tu patri, of one substance with the Father, declaring him completely divine. Despite this condemnation, Arius was later reinstated into the church through the influence of Constantia, the sister of Emperor Constantine I, after agreeing to a compromise formula. However, he died suddenly in Constantinople in 336 CE, shortly before his formal reconciliation, while walking through the streets. His followers, known as Arians, continued to influence Christian thought for centuries, and a modified form of his views, known as semi-Arianism, persisted, which held that the Son was of a similar substance, homoousios, to the Father, but not of the same substance, homoousios. So I guess we're going to have to go into Dead Sea Scrolls, because I want to find those 2 articles. As soon as I find out about the moon phases, I'm actually going to open up the studying of the Jews in the Quran. So right now we're getting all this knocked out because these are the things that happened prior to Muhammad coming with the surah of the Quran. These are the real-time events that were happening. These are the things that were shaping world thought concerning theology. We learned yesterday that these millennia people, these people who were waiting for the apocalypse, for the end, they were waiting for somebody to come along that's going to be the end of the world as we know it. Well, what is the world? The world is the system. What is the system? The system is the governing standard. Right now, the issue is, do you walk with the system of Babylon or do you walk with the system of Yahweh Elohim? Because one is in balance and then the other one is whirling towards chaos. And even in the studies, that's exactly what it's saying. It's saying we can either return back to the way that it's supposed to be, or it's going to disintegrate. Either way, those are situations that are outside of the standard. So if you accept the standard, all of that other stuff doesn't even make sense because that's all added on. It's not the original. We struggle not against flesh, but against principalities, against origins. People trying to fight each other here and now over social issues here and now, not understanding that they were shaped thousands of years ago, put in place, and then only certain people were reaping the benefit while everybody else was running around in confusion. And that's the whole reason why you do not set another human being above you telling you what to do. Study and show yourself approved. That's what that means. Go study it, find out what it's really about, so that you can speak on it. Dead Sea Scrolls in the Israel Museum in Jordan. Qumran Library. Explore the scrolls. I'm just trying to find the names. Just want to know the names of those. Apparently it's something I'm going to have to look up on my own time, because I don't want to have you all stalled out. Because while right now I'm scrolling, it's telling me about who discovered it, and we found out about the site being in Qumran. That's where the Essenes lived, in that area, and then scattered around Turkey and other places in Persia. So here we go. We were reading this part. Apocrypha and Scrolls, Second Temple period. The Book of G's, the Book of Jubilees. The Book of Jubilees, for example, survived in Ge'ez, classical Ethiopic, and the fourth book of Ezra survived in Latin. We're getting there. The Pesharim. Yeah. There's a couple of articles that there it is. The Florilegium. That was one. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, there was the Florilegium, and then there's also the discussion of the 12 minor prophets. And here's the community rule, the sect code, the Essenes. Oh, here we go. Teacher of righteousness, priest of wickedness, man of falsehood. Interpretation themselves prophetic. Okay. Temple scroll. Here we go. The end of days, the war of the sons of light and the sons of darkness. That's one of them. And then the other one is, the Temple Scrolls. So that's their doctrine. The war of the sons of light and the sons of darkness. We've been on for an hour. It's about 30 minutes left to the top of the hour. The war of the sons of light and the sons of darkness. Thing about the Temple Scrolls, They have the descriptions of what was going on with the actual building of the temples in Jerusalem because of the activities that you can see in First Chronicles and First Kings. There was a lot going on in the background during that time. There actually was a priest of Melchizedek who was working with David and Solomon when David passed away and it was time to choose another king. This priest of the Melchizedek order is the one that influenced for Solomon to be able to retain the throne and the crown. At that time, there were a bunch of priests who were not necessarily going by the way of the standard. They were just going by way of whoever was in power. And that begins the saga and the stories that you see concerning all of the different kings, the different priests and priestesses, governors and governesses. You will start to see where some people were trying to bring standards back and keep them upheld, while others just wanted to make sure that they had the most opulent life possible. And they were also worshiping polytheism. They had many different deities. They were practicing polytheism. Basically anything goes, and if they thought that something was more popular and had more power behind it, then that's what they ran with. Even though we were told not to do any of those things. I found some information concerning the war of the sons of light against the sons of darkness. 2, 3. It's about 4 paragraphs. This is an AI-generated answer. It's not Wikipedia. And we can fact check it later. However, what I wanted to do was just get the information right now so that we know what to look for. The War of the Sons of Light against the Sons of Darkness, also known as the War Scroll, 1QM. We know that that's the first scroll that was found in Qumran, in Cave M, because we learned about the code. It's a manual for military organization and strategy discovered among the Dead Sea Scrolls in Qumran Cave 1 in 1947. It was acquired by the Hebrew University of Jerusalem and first published posthumously by Eleazar Sukenik in 1955. The document is composed of various scrolls and fragments, including 1QM and 4Q 491 through 497, with the latter being a shorter recension published by Maurice Bayelet. It is possible that the War of the Messiah is the conclusion to this document. That's why I wanted to find this. The text presents an apocalyptic prophecy of a war between the sons of light, who are identified as the sons of Levi, the sons of Judah, the sons of Benjamin, and the exiled of the desert, and the sons of darkness, consisting of Edom, Moab, the Kittim of Asher. Oh, wait. I skipped a whole line. The sons of darkness, consisting of Edom, Moab, the sons of Ammon, the Amalekites, Philistia, and their allies, the Kittim of Asher, collectively referred to as the army of Belial, along with those who violate the covenant. The war is described in 2 distinct phases. The war against the Kittim, a 7-stage battle in a best-of-7 format where the Sons of Light face defeat 3 times before final victory by divine intervention in the 7th stage. And the War of Divisions, a 33-year-long conflict where the united 12 tribes of Israel conquer the nations of vanity without mention of supernatural allies. The War Scroll outlines detailed military formations, weaponry, and tactics, including inscriptions for banners and trumpets, and liturgies for priests during the conflict. The total duration of the war is described as 40 years, with a 6-year period of preparation following the war against the Kittim, culminating in the restoration of the temple in Jerusalem. The scroll is written in Hebrew using a square Herodian script and is dated on the late 1st century BCE or early 1st century CE. Scholars debate its composition date, with proposals ranging from the Seleucid period, example 165 or 164 BCE, 143 BCE, or 135 through 104 BCE, to the Roman period, middle of the 1st century BCE to the first decade of the 1st century CE. What's all that mean? All of this was happening while Messiah was walking around. That's what this means. Some scholars, like Yigael Yadin, associate the described weaponry and tactics with Roman military methods, while others, such as Russell Gemerkin and Lieutenant Colonel Peter Fromm, argue for a 2nd century BCE origin, 200 years before the Messiah walked. The text reflects the dualistic worldview of the Qumran community, who saw themselves as the sons of light, the holy elect of Israel, in a cosmic struggle against the sons of darkness. The scroll is not strictly an apocalypse, but functions as a theological discourse developing the doctrine of the spirits of truth and perversity. And it lacks a traditional messianic figure, though it references messiahs in the plural. The War Scroll is considered a significant source for understanding the sectarian beliefs, military organization, and eschatological expectations of the Qumran community. This war of light against the soldiers of darkness is the head to Jehovah's Witnesses and all of that. That's their setup. You hear about people wanting to be in shining white raiment because things have been added and things have been taken away. So we get together 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about ethics and entrepreneurship, because we have to have standards. And before there was the makeup of the modern world, we did use our skills, talents, and trades to be of service. We were entrepreneurs before the word came along. Got some interesting things that I read through just now, and we picked up on a few things. Tomorrow's supposed to be a rainy day. I may or may not turn on the camera. We'll see. Adon willing, I will be able to bring a message to you. Otherwise, there's some focusing I need to do with my own entrepreneurial activities. Got an album I need to upload. Right now, I got a whole bunch of music that needs to be converted into the proper audio files so that I can get the music registered for global distribution. Because that's what I do. Find me on Discord at 3PROJH. 3PROJH. Find me on Discord. Then we can talk about organic marketing strategies using cross social media platforms as a service, using your mobile device as a service, using the system of the internet as a service, using the system of a community network as a service. Organic marketing strategies compared to pay for play. It involves a little bit more work. However, it has its own justifications. Yahweh Ahaba. our Father, our Creator, our great teacher is love. If you see someone who needs help, assistance in any kind of way, go help them. If you can't, go find somebody who can immediately. Don't walk up and ask them if they need help. You can see it. Just help them. Don't expect a thank you or anything like that. We're not doing it for that. That's how you prove that the kingdom of Yahweh Elohim exists. It's not the number of gates. It's not the material that the streets are made of. It's a community of people who are upholding the standards specifically of Yahweh Elohim. Go read Ezekiel. You'll find out that we're supposed to be establishing a city called Yahweh is there. Yahweh lives there. And that is not what Jerusalem translates to. There's supposed to be a city tended by the priests of the Melchizedek order. And until that city is here, the Son of Man has no home. Because the priests who walk in the order of Melchizedek are those who are called Son of Man. Go out and be the reason why somebody else has a smile on their face. If you're going along and somebody's about to walk through a door, open and hold the door for them. If you're going along and somebody's about to cross your path, pause and let them proceed. That's compassion. Amitabha. Ametofo. That's how you would say compassion in either Chinese or Japanese. I want to thank everyone who came to the party. Adon willing, inshallah, we'll be back together tomorrow. If not, many much love and respect to everyone who's been here. For those of you who tune in later, I want to thank all of you. Pass this to a friend. Shalom Akati. And then look me up and tell your friend to look me up. Find me on Discord. 3PROJH. We need to be having some more parties. Not just these lives that I do on YouTube. How about some tutoring classes on how you can start doing your own graphics? Start rendering pictures, video editing, expressing yourself. And in the meantime, I can show you all about doing some promoting. I can show you the value of having someone ask me to do a custom video for them. 30-second video is $30. Why? Because it's going to have all the information that a person is going to need to contact you, to find out what it is that you do, and that kind of information. A 60-second video, a 1-minute video, $60, $1 per second. Why? You could go and spend $60 on business cards. You can get an order of 250, 500. When you get through passing out those business cards, how many people are really going to respond? Or how many of them are just lost? Today, people respond to short form videos. I can post up a video and get 100 views, 200 views, 500, 800, 1,000 views on a video, which means that if I did one for you and you post it up, it can get the same attention. And then if you post it on several different platforms, cross-platform as a system, That means it's not going to be just 1,000 views in one place. You might get 200 somewhere else, 300 somewhere else, and 10 somewhere else. And each of those are counted differently because you're properly registered. And it's not about a mad grab trying to see if you can get a viral video. It's not about supporting some artist you don't know. How about you support an artist that you know? How about instead of running around here talking about don't go out and buy anything on Black Friday, how about every day you make sure that you're only working with people who have services and products within the will of Yahweh Elohim, and you're actually checking on each other daily, not just throwing out some kind of slogan for people. This is not about, oh, we're gonna do blackout on Black Friday. Black out everything. The number one nation of consumers doesn't have anything that they own, just things that they keep buying and then having to put a tax on and a tariff and everything else. And then you run out of it and you got to go replace it and buy some more. What do you know how to make? And why aren't you making that? And putting a signature next to your work. Till next time, family. Mishpaka. Write your best resume. Fire your boss. Hire yourself out. Write a 7-section business proposal stating your mission and how you plan to serve the community. I'm looking forward to seeing some resumes and proposals. And if you don't know how to do it, I suggest you contact me. If you have an idea, don't sit on your idea for the next 10 years just because you don't know how to execute it. You don't have any excuses. I'm here to tell you how to do it. You need to prune yourself away from Babylon and all Babylon activities. That means no, you don't register yourself with Babylon. Our Father's peace, blessings, and mercy be upon all of you. Hashem Yahweh Elohim, Shalom Barak. Allahu Assalamu Alaikum, wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.